Skyzone.Society.
Yo, y'all already know what it is. If you tuned in, it's the Zone Sports Podcast. You know what I mean? I'm one half of the host, your boy Big V. That's my guy over there. You know what I mean? What's good, boy?
Man, what's up? It's your boy COOLC, aka Corey, man. Yo, man, these sports is crazy, man. I love talking these sports, man. It's like it's been some craziness going on here, man. It's been some good things to cap off the March Madness, man. One of my favorite drugs of choice, man. So it's been good. What's been good with you?
Man, first of all, before I even say what's good with me, let me shout out to all the people who've been hitting me up and saying they love the podcast, they loving the chemistry with me and you, they loving you, they loving
Support
me.
The love. Appreciate
you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting calls, I'm getting texts, I'm getting everything, man. We appreciate y'all for tapping in.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying that, we one of their go-tos now for what's going on in the streets of the sports world. You know what I mean? They liking the raw uncutness of it, you know what I mean? The no filter, you know what I mean? Straight barbershop style, how we talking.
Yeah.
Anything goes, you know what I mean? Like
that's why I like them. That's shit. That's what. Hey, look, and even though we're co-hosts, I mean, shit, I'm a fan as well. Like that whole deal. Like, not only are we a president, we clients. You know what I'm saying? Like I love the. I mean, and the way that it sounds, it sounds like we're just coming off in here and winging it. That's far from the case, but we like to give it that flow as if, just like you said. I mean, now, I ain't got too much going on up here with the hair, but, I ain't been in the barbershop since 2006. But what I do remember is I used to love the barbershop talks and how it's, it's semi-unscripted.
Absolutely.
And the fact of you got your ESPNs and Fox and different other places. But what I love about the podcast format is that it's really us just talking. I mean, we prep before it, but we're really just talking. Again, 4 or 5 letter words are allowed. You know what I'm saying? Like even in some barbershops, you can't curse. They'll kick you out. The one I used to go to had a sign up there. Not no cursing, no cussing. CUSSING. No cussing, or you get the fuck out.
Hey,
we won't tell you to get the fuck out here. We'll tell you to stay, and we welcome it.
You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, like, this just how me and Corey just be chopping it up, with hip hop or sports. You know what I mean? We just put it on, on audio and on the record for y'all to see. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all shopping at Skyzone.Society.bigcartel.com. You already know the vibes. The podcast is definitely sponsored by my brand, Skyzone.Society. Make sure y'all go get the hats, the tees, the candles, everything we bring into the table. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm ready to pie today, big dog.
Well, let's get the pot and let's talk sports then.
Oh man, more Deshaun Watson allegations. They up to 22 right now, Corey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, a lot of his sponsors are backing out.
Yeah.
Most recently, a noted sponsor such as Nike backed out on him. And now I'm hearing Beats by Dre backed out on him. I don't know if you heard that. You know what I mean?
I've heard about that. And man,
what's your thoughts, man?
My thoughts to this is that with he had one of the ladies that came forward. It was on ESPN yesterday. Kind of detailing graphically what's happened. Or whatnot. And my stance on it is still the same, but I would be lying if I said that there's not a little bit of a seesaw swing effect going on here. And the reason why I say that is because we have cards that we play. Like a few weeks ago, we was like, well, shit, ain't nobody came forward, ain't nobody put their name on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can argue with the Bill Cosby, like cats put their name on it. So we've had that card to play where cats are now putting their name on it and actually putting themselves out there on TV. Whether it's true, whether it's not true, is not a good look, right? And so that's one card that I just ball up the damn paper, throw that away because that's gone now, right? And now the only card that I have left as it stands today this recording is as of Thursday at roughly around close to 6 o'clock is that he nothing is being criminal yet. Like even right now, as it stands today, nothing is going criminal. This is still of the way of civil court and not criminal. Again, I'm not a lawyer. What I've always seen historically in almost any case is this: you always go criminal first for whatever reason, because most people, they want the they want the money too, but they want the justice. If they can get the justice and the money, that's cool. Well, then what will happen is, okay, well, this guy, in this case, Deshaun Watson, he will be found not guilty in the criminal court of law. Okay, well, cool. We can't get him in criminal court, so we're going to go civilly, where you don't have to have the burden of proof like you do in a criminal court to get money, right? So that's the only card that I have left to play with him right now. Now, there's been developments where I think it was 18 people that came to his defense. Yeah. And it's like, oh, no. We massaged him plenty of times, yada, 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 is that and the third. Like, he's good, right? I think one of the masseuses was like, hey, well, look, Deshaun, you need to watch your back. I guess she massaged him or something and was like, hey, well, look, people are talking about you. If you're doing anything, fall back. Because whether you're doing something or not is not really a good look at this point. So just take it easy. Or whatnot. So he got that card to stand. So I guess it's still technically two cards that he got, going on or whatnot. So when you have a woman crying on TV, right or wrong, is never a good look, or whatnot. I'm hoping that he's innocent. But at the same time, if he did it, I hope the lady or ladies get justice. And one more thing real quick. The thing about this, we go to number 22, which is the total allegations that's aligned with him right now. Well, here's the deal. 21 of them can be utter BS, right? All it takes is one to be legitimate. And it's going to be pretty much more of the same in the sense of, yo, you're a scumbag. You're this, that, and the third, or whatnot. So all it takes is one. So you got to hope that 22 don't see the light of day or can't get proven or in whatever case, or whatnot. Like I said, the only thing that's giving me pause is that none of this is making its way to criminal. That don't mean that it won't. It just hasn't yet. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, if I had to dodge daggone 22 allegations, man, I'd know, even if I ain't do this shit, I know I'm gonna get burnt on one of them just off of public opinion. So I don't know. What say you, man? Oh my goodness.
Again, like you said, man, to reiterate some things you said, I'll start there.
Yeah.
You're right. It only takes one.
Yeah.
And like I stated, and I'm gonna double down on this statement that I said on the last podcast on episode 5 about this. If he did this is some sucker shit.
No
Absolutely. Question. It's no place for sexual harassment or whatever you're doing to these ladies, masseuses, or whatever, what have you. There's no place for it at all. It's sucker shit if it's true. I'm gonna double down on that, and I'm gonna double down on this too. I still think these fucking Houston Texans are behind this bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double down on that, and I'm gonna say it again. This stinks. It stinks. Yeah. Because what I'm tripping on is this, Corey. It's funny how it's now 22 women who are coming forth with these allegations, and the allegations are bad. I'm not gonna lie. The optics are terrible. The optics are looking really bad. It's bad out here for Deshaun. It looks bad. It looks bad, regardless of what we assume and what people have come to your back as what your character is to be. It just looks bad. But fuck the looks. We'll keep it what it is, right? It just baffles me how you have 22 women out saying the same exact thing, similar stories, what have you.
Yeah.
But then you have almost the same amount of people saying that no way.
Right.
That never happened. That never fucking happened. I don't know him to be that guy. What the hell are these other women talking about? No. I mean, and these are 18 women who have went on record to not only say this, but they are willing to sign a petition to vouch for what they're saying. So these are women ready to go to court, mind you, for Deshaun and say, hey, no way, that guy wouldn't do this. I massage, and this is, and mind you, some of these women have massaged him several times.
Yeah.
Like they have not just once, but several, and they've had several encounters with him and haven't encountered some of these, some of these crazy things and some of these crazy allegations that have been, that have been against Deshaun and some of the things that says that he has been doing. So, that right there alone leads me to think, and again, man, prayers to all women involved. That
absolutely. Let's be clear with that.
Please let me be clear. Again, I'm not co-signing no sexual assault, nothing. I'm just looking at this thing from the outside in, and I'm telling you, I still feel like some way along the lines, if you have this many women over here willing to go to court and vouch for this man, and you have these other women out here, at least 18 of them that we know, to almost have the same lawyer.
Yeah,
I'm still stuck on that. Yeah. I'm still stuck on that. And hey, let's even dumb it down. Say 18 of them don't have the same lawyer and 9 of them do. That's still a little bit. I don't know about that. I've never seen a case where so many people have the same lawyer.
Yeah, man.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, are all y'all co-defendants in this bullshit or what?
It almost sounds like one of those late night commercials. Like, what's that? That weed Roundup killer, where it's like, oh, if you got cancer, doing this, that, the third, call us and we'll represent you for a settlement.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It does. You're right.
It does. It does. And the lady name who came out yesterday was Ashley Solis or Solace. Okay. Just to be clear, I want to make sure I cite that. She put her name out to it. Yeah, man. Look, if to me, I'm a far cry from Matlock, but if this was to go criminal, like you said, you got that many people saying he didn't do it. You only got a slight few more people saying that he did do it. This would be thrown out of court.
I feel so too.
It would get thrown out. You got you basically, for the lack of a few numbers here and there, you basically have the same amount of people that's saying that he did do it versus he didn't do it, and it turns to some he say, she say stuff, and then you get into what you can prove.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes it tough.
And up until this point, and this is April 8th, 2021, we haven't seen any video footage yet.
No.
Now, I'm going to say this. If there is any video footage lying around, that might be what do on me. You know what I mean? And until then, I'm going to ride with somewhere along the lines. The Houston Texans are part of this. And I want to say this too, because this has been on my mind about the Houston Texans, man, and why I still think they're on this bullshit. Because again, last time we spoke, man, it's the timing of this shit. That's number one. It's the timing.
Man.
And number two, we know the Houston Texans organization to be kind of nasty. We know that already. We know that already.
Absolutely.
Come on.
That's facts.
Come on. That's
the whole inmates running the asylum is how the owner referred to his players.
Well,
that's documented.
You know what I mean? We know them to be real nasty over there in the Houston Texans organization. And here's the other thing. This what makes them more nastier than Deshaun, in my opinion, if they have a hand in this bullshit. It's mighty funny y'all wait till my man want to get up out of there.
Man.
So that leads me that leads me to think, how long have y'all been sitting on this info?
That's a fair question.
Can we talk about that? If y'all have been sitting on this info for a significant amount of time, let's think about all and if all this info is true.
I see where you get ready to go too.
How many people, how many women have y'all hurt by not turning over this info to the police? Let's talk about that. How many women? How many women?
I didn't even think about that, bro.
Absolutely. How many women lives have y'all put in danger by withholding such info until this time because y'all are bitter that he don't want to be our quarterback no more. Let's talk about that.
That's a fair point, and I haven't heard it from that angle before. That's very accurate.
You know, and it pisses me off as a father who has daughters, and I have a son too, that an organization, and again, this probably happens all the time, not to this, extent of holding some of maybe putting sexual assault allegations on someone. But it's been documented where teams have had blackmail on players or dangled something in front of them like not so fast. It's been documented. We ain't got to get into it.
And nobody will put Houston above that. No one will put Houston above. I mean,
hell no.
No way in hell. No way in hell they'll do that.
No, they're not a first class organization.
Hell no.
No. So with all that being said, if this comes out that Deshaun is guilty of this, the Houston Texas organization need to go the fuck down too, because they just as guilty. You just as filthy or filthier.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
For withholding this information, putting all these women's lives at risk.
You're right, dog.
Let's say all 22 women are right?
Yeah.
And y'all held on to 22 women's lives that y'all put in danger.
All because he want to trade?
All because he want to trade? Y'all almost got 22 women raped. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's on y'all head.
Your organization, because you look at any other 9-to-5 spot, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, I'm at my job or at one of my clients, same difference, and a woman reports that I've done something to her to make her feel uncomfortable, whether it's rape, whether it's sexual assault, or hell, just plain up harassment, right?
Yeah.
That company has a right and damn near a demand to act on that accusation, whereas one, it's going to at least be an investigation. Two, my black ass ain't going to be there while the investigation is going on. Absolutely. And number three, I'm going to get fired. So the point you're making, which I totally agree with, if y'all known about this, how long have you been sitting on it? Matter of fact, let's go even further back. How long have these quote unquote allegations, or when the alleged incident, how long ago were they? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure. Was it 4 months ago? Was it 1 year ago? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? How long has Deshaun Watson been doing this? And if he was doing this to this many people, you quite sure, because here's what I know about the NFL. They do their due diligence before they draft a player. Like Colin Cowherd always refers to a quarterback as being the CEO of the company, or at least the face of the respective 32 NFL franchise.
Right.
So if I'm the NFL, and let alone the Houston, Texas, and I even hear anything about any type of allegations, I got to take that into considerations, whether I want to draft you or not, or move on to the next guy. So now it goes into, okay, well, cool. Let's just say hypothetically, they've known about this shit for years. Like you said, how fucked up am I as an organization? I'm okay, fine. You know what? You said it. Deshaun Watson goes down fine, because if he did, he's a motherfucking creep. I want to be crystal fucking clear when I say that. He's a creep if this is true. But let me tell you what, man. He goes down, Houston needs to go down too. Absolutely. And I'm talking about you go down where it hurts. I'm talking about a season where either A, you don't play at all, kind of like the death penalty in NCAA, yep, or B, which I don't know what B is much, because they probably won't make the playoffs anyway, but the next time you're eligible to make the playoffs, you're ineligible for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long you want it to be, because Absolutely. Something needs to happen to them as well as an organization. That's a very fair point.
Absolutely. So I mean, I'm talking about no draft picks either. None of that shit.
Oh gosh, like, none of that. No, you cease as a football operation for
Absolutely.
a year,
for a whole year. Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Minimum.
And with pay for the players.
Yeah.
With pay for the players.
That a little history lesson. Back in the early '80s, they did a whole lot more with Southern Methodist University for a lot less when they got the NCAA penalty, all because them niggas was taking money from boosters. Pay to play. That program got shut down and has never recovered. Oh, it's back. Oh yeah, SMU, they're back per se, where they can compete. but it killed that program because you lost your ability to recruit. So in the NFL, you don't necessarily have that problem because you got the draft to supplement that. Yeah. But you got to hit them where it hurts. Hey, fuck, you don't play no football, and you better figure out a way to pay the players.
Absolutely.
Because you sit up here and you say, well, there's a fine. Well, what is I don't know, what's $1 million fine to an owner who's a fucking billionaire?
What is it?
What is that?
What is it, bro? It's nothing. It's nothing.
Nothing, man. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we're gonna keep up. We gonna
heads need to roll, that's for sure.
Absolutely. We're gonna keep our eyes on this nasty situation. Prayers to all the women and alleged victims that are involved. And fuck the Houston Texans organization.
Yep.
Simply.
Yep. With a long broomstick.
Absolutely. In too deep, LL Cool J. I'm God style. You know what I mean?
I'm clenching up right now just thinking about that, bro. Respect.
You know what I mean? Speaking of clinching up, let's talk about the NCAA tournament, baby.
Let's talk about it, man. Let us talk about it.
Boy, were we wrong? You were more righter than me.
But that's nothing to beat yourself up over, because even Nostradamus, or hell, Nostradamus, as we like to call him, couldn't predict this shit of this year, man. I mean, Gonzaga had a chance to go down as one of the immortals in college basketball history of going undefeated. I kind of the Jalen Suggs, man. I'm telling you, the way that it all went down. I mean, look, the championship game was a dud, but man, damn it, we can't not act like the game against UCLA did not happen where he hit that daggone shot. And the bank, from what I could tell, the bank is not open on Saturday nights. But let me tell you something. With Jalen Suggs, it was open that daggone night. Let me tell you something, man. When I say that March Madness is one of my favorite drugs of choice, it's for moments like that happened last Saturday. It was just immaculate. I just couldn't get enough. I'm talking about, I'm running around my house like I'm 6 years old, waiting to get some chocolate chip cookies and keep in mind, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm a Tar Heel guy. We'll get to that later. But man, it was just the ebbs and flow. Look, man, I've been going back and forth. And I'm trying to take it easy because I hate that prisoner of the moment stuff. I don't want to say it is the greatest college basketball game I've ever seen. I don't want to say that. But damn it, if it ain't one of them, if it ain't at least in my top 5, I mean, my God. I mean, you talking about the buzzer beaters, and they had it on ESPN, one of their top 5 buzzer beaters. And of course, and I'd hate to really say this, they brought up the Carolinas.
Of course.
When Marcus Pace hit the shot to get that sumbitch tied up, then old buddy from Villanova came down and drilled it. I was like, and I get it because that was a championship game, and stuff like that. But man, look, sticking with this year, I thought overall it was phenomenal. Again, like we said in the last episode, was first of all, we was happy to even have a March Madness. And I'm telling you, it came back with a vengeance. And I'm telling you, I loved it. I wish the Zags could have finished it off. They didn't. I think emotionally, they were spent from the UCLA game. You're talking about all of this going on Saturday night, and then Monday night, you're right back at it. Like, that is tough. And I felt bad because I know the Zags wanted to win. They didn't. It wasn't no, I'm just so happy to be here type stuff. And let me tell you something real quick about Gonzaga. Gonzaga is not going to be a powerhouse. They are already a powerhouse. You got to understand, when we beat them, we being the Tar Heels, beat them in 2017. That wasn't the easiest game in the world. So I've been knew that they was here. Or whatnot. And if they keep getting Jalen Suggs and recruiting class like they're getting now, they're going to be super dominant, and it's going to be a matter of time before they break through. The Zags will get through. I can't tell you when. It's too unpredictable for March Madness, but those guys are going to get through. It was a hellified tournament. Overall, it was great. And real quick, the ladies was, to me, just as damn good as the men's was. We're going to get into all that. But, man, what say you, man? What's your thoughts, brother?
Bro, oh my God, man. First of all, much like you, when Jalen, what's his name?
Jalen Suggs.
Boy, when he hit that shot, much like you, I was running around the house. I was screaming and hollering. I was on the floor. Boy, I couldn't contain my fucking self, Corey. I promise you. I was losing my shit.
Yeah.
Man, what a shot. What a shot. I mean, not just that night. I lost my shit throughout the whole tournament. Man, UCLA balled their asses off.
Oh my gosh. You know I felt so bad for them, man.
I did, man, because they had it in the bag, man.
Yeah, they did.
And when someone hits a half court shot like this, man, all you can do is just tip your hat and you know, that's it, man. You know, that's it.
A tough way.
I mean, it was a hell of a tournament. I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah.
It didn't miss a beat. Like you said, it is a drug. It was a high every game I watched, man.
And I'm talking about from the first four.
I'm talking about
all the way through.
First four, all the way through. Oh my God, man. It was exciting, man.
Yes, it was.
I loved it. I loved it. Again, you picked the Zags to win. I picked Michigan. We were both wrong. You know what I mean?
And I think Juwan Howard, he got Coach of the Year, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he? Okay, shout out.
Yeah, I think he got Coach of the Year.
Oh man, that's what deserved,
rightfully
man.
So. He came off hitting the ground running on that.
Hey, shout out to Juwan Howard for getting the boys out there. You know what I mean? A black coach in this NCAA making these waves. You know what I mean? Going from the NBA as a player and then making his mark as an assistant. You know what I mean? Winning rings with the Heat. You know what I'm saying? To coming in here and putting Michigan where they need to be at and just restoring that energy. You know what I mean? Like,
man.
Hey, shout out to Juwan, man, for real, bro. Like, man, hey, if you get a chance, man, we'd love to have you on the show. I'm gonna have to send you a link or something, Juwan. You know what I mean?
Bro.
What's up, man?
Facts,
you know
man.
But man, we like you said, we can't overlook how the women did too. The women's tournament was, man. Can we talk about the Connecticut upset? I had Connecticut to win it, man.
We could talk about the Connecticut upset. Woo! We could talk about a few things. Let's talk the Connecticut upset, man. It was kind of like, yo, was that supposed to happen?
Man, you talk about a mind blower? Oh my God,
man. Let me tell you something, man. These ladies, they ball.
Paige
I'm
Beckers,
talking about
Paige Beckers, man.
Dude.
Paige Beckers, dude.
The daggone truth, man. And I'm telling you, with UConn, I want to give a shout out to Arizona, and I want to give a shout out to their black head coach, Ada Barnes, man. Ada Barnes, the Beast, is what I'm going to call her. Ada Barnes, the Beast. And let's also give a shout out to South Carolina's black female head coach, Dawn Staley, if I'm not mistaken. Man, look,
Dawn, baby.
These ladies ball. And let me tell you something. I want to quickly go over some of these games. Let me pull up some dates. I want to pull up.
Before you say
that
too, I think Dawn, if I'm not mistaken, Dawn used to ball her ass off in college, man. For real. Did she ball? Did she ball for South Carolina too?
I think she did.
I think she did too, man. You know what I mean? I think she did. I know she used to ball. She was crazy nice with it because she ran the point, right?
Yeah. Ran the point. So she knows her shit. She knows her shit, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I want to talk about on March 29th, Baylor versus UConn, where UConn slid out of there with that lucky ass win. I mean, refs. I don't envy y'all job. I know y'all have a tough job to do. I'm not even saying that I could do it any better than y'all can, because I'm quite sure I couldn't. But let me tell you something. I do not understand how the lady from Baylor, and I'm sorry, I'm not the best with the names, could basically get clothesline, Randy Orton RKO'd, and have the Triple H pedigree on them all at the same time on the last second shot, 2-1, right in the handicap match, where y'all don't call a foul at the end of that game. What is that? My wife and I, we was watching this game. And typically when these games are on, it depends on how the men's, if it's a dud in the men's game, we're going to switch over to the ladies. And that's how I got into it. I was like, wait a minute, some of these women's games, hell, a lot of them, they're actually better than the men's. Let me watch what's going on. And I caught it, and I felt so bad for Baylor women. Those ladies ball so hard, and to have it go out like that. And the two trains of thought that I have on those type of circumstances are the same that I would have whether it's the men's or the women's, whether it's college or NBA pro, right? Yeah. And you could argue that when it gets in the clutch, the referees swallow the whistle. But let me tell you something. Them some bitches, they did more than swallow. I'm talking about they ate it, they digested it, and they moved it from their bowels. Okay. Now, my wife and I was like, that's a foul. And then I told my wife, I said, it is a foul. I don't know if they could or should call it. And then, of course, when you slow it down, it always looks more egregious than what it was. Well, I went back and watched it in real time, and that shit was just as egregious as it was. It was bad. To me, if it is a ticky-tack foul, which that was not, no. You got to call it. You gotta call it, man. You could have cost Baylor or maybe even cost them the chance of moving to the Final Four, man. That was such a heartbreaker for them, and I feel for the Baylor, the ladies Baylors on that, man. That was one hell of a game, be that as it may. And let's see what else we got here that they had on Friday. Here we go. The South Carolina versus the Stanford game. That was probably, 65-66. Stanford got one over on that one, man. That was just that wasn't any. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. There wasn't any shenanigans at the end of that one per se. That was just a solid game. It was a solid game. Oh my gosh, man. I mean, I'm just amazed because normally when it comes to women's tournament, you could pretty much chalk them all the way out. 4 number ones hitting the Final Four, and that wasn't the case this year. And I really think that this year is going to be the breaking point of women's college basketball where people tend to pay more attention to it, at least during March. If you did not watch any of the women college basketball, you missed it. You missed out on a good one, man. I'm telling you, they got a fan in your boy. I'm not going to sit there and act like I've been watching it religiously every single year because I haven't, or whatever. But man, you talking about some damn buzzer beaters. They was there. And then with the final, the Arizona and Stanford, and salute to Stanford for that. I was pulling for Arizona because of the black head coach, man. And when you had, I think the point guard name is McDonald, had a chance at that last second shot. Triple team. Couldn't do but so much with it. She's the best player on the team. A wife, I kind of like that. Man, why didn't she kick it? She had somebody coming up from the weak side, that was coming down, because really all they needed was a 2. They didn't really need a 3, or whatever. And then you had another one on the strong side who was open as well. And of course, you go back and you look at all of this. It's like, oh, well, you could have, would have, should have. Look, I fuck up on NBA 2K all the damn time. So I don't know what decision to make. I'm not out there, or whatever. But man, I don't know, sweetie. When you get in triple team, though, I get it, because you want the ball in the hand of the best player. I get that. Yeah. But man, you ain't beating too many triple teams, man. But I feel bad for her. I know she probably feels like she let the team down. Let me go ahead and go on record and say, look here, Miss McDonald. Let me tell you this straight from the heart. It wouldn't have even been a game without you to begin with. So if you have the pleasure of seeing this, you got a fan of me. Keep your head up, man. Yo, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, you should have kicked it out, but again, they wouldn't have even been in the game without you, or whatnot. And let me tell you something from Stanford, man. I got a nickname for this Haley Jones character from Stanford. She got a whole bunch of hair. And see, I'm hating because I don't have any hair. And so I nicknamed her the doll baby, because all you see is the hair just flopping all over the place. And I look, because she be shaking these women up. She be scoring on them. She be doing layups. She just be going. She is freaking phenomenal. Haley Jones from Stanford, aka doll baby. She is incredible. She is a beast. And let me tell you something, man. She got that old school style of playing. Basically, you get her up in the paint, man, she gonna have a butt to kind of move you. You can't do anything with her because she's so big and strong and powerful. She just beats cats down in the paint. Haley Jones is freaking phenomenal, man. I haven't been this much into women college basketball damn near since ever.
Well, hey, welcome to the team, baby. I've been waiting on you. Where have you been at? My daughter been. Listen to you.
It's on me. It's on me.
Hey, my daughter. Since my daughter played basketball all her life, dude. We used to sit down and watch these tournaments together. And I'm telling you, man, it's like this year is nothing new to me. They always go down to the wire, bro. I've been telling people for years, tap in to women's NCAA basketball.
I'm in it now, bro.
It is just as great. Now, I got a bone to pick, man.
Let's do it.
we talking about the NCAA tournament, and it was a great tournament and everything. But I want to talk about some things that I saw that was disturbing during these NCAA tournaments. Corey, like I told you before, my daughter, she played basketball her entire life, played it through high school, middle school, just growing up, period. What I saw over the NCAA tournament, what disturbed me the most was I saw a lot of the female players posting their. I'll just go with one example. I saw a lot of female players posting their weight rooms.
Oh boy!
And I saw them, posting their weight room in comparison to the men's weight room.
Horrible.
Of the NCAA tournament.
Horrible.
I saw them also posting what I like to call gift bags with that I'm pretty sure that all of the players receive when they make it this far in the tournament. Yeah. I saw the women's gift bag, and I saw the men's gift bag.
Yeah.
Significantly, a significant difference, Corey. Huge difference. I disturbing. I'm talking about Dollar Tree for the women, and I'm talking about like Gucci for the men. It was that much in comparison. The difference of significance of the gift bags.
Yeah.
And as well as the weight room. I'm talking about
that was horrible.
I'm talking about the women's weight room looked like a fucking home garage compared to
basically
the men's weight room was looking like fucking Planet Fitness. I mean, Corey, I am disgusted with the NCAA because Corey, it is 2021. I just don't understand why women players are getting treated much differently from the men. And I understand in certain sports where, and again, sometimes, and again, I ain't gonna say I understand in certain sports, but specifically when we talking basketball here, because I want to keep it on the tournament and the teams and the differences between the men and the women's teams and the amenities in the tournament. Corey, it's shitty.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck the NCAA is doing when it comes to the women's side of the money. I have no fucking clue. I don't know where the money is going, but I will tell you this: it ain't going towards the women. It's not going towards the women's and amenities, and that was proven throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah,
Corey, I'm disgusted at those photos.
Yeah,
that were shown in the difference between what the women and the men were getting. I just would like an answer. I don't want to just hear whether the men bring in more money. No, fuck that.
No,
I want them. It's deeper than that. And I know
always way deeper than that.
It has to be. I mean, like, can you like I know the people didn't see. I don't know if everybody saw. Just the differences just the weight rooms within themselves. But if you saw it, you'll understand what we're talking about. It was past
huge disparity.
It was past night and day. NCAA, what the fuck are y'all doing? You're not allowing players to get paid. You know what I mean? You're not taking care of the women, and you're treating the women as lesser players and lesser athletes than the men. I don't understand it, and for the life of me, I can only imagine what I would feel if my daughter was one of those players and call like, "Yo, Dad, look at this bullshit that they got us in."
Yeah.
And if I had a son and I had to go see him, he was like, "Dad, this is the coolest thing ever. We up here in the Radisson, the Four Seasons Hotel, and when I got my daughter down here in some bullshit 2-star hotel, probably, you know what I mean, with this bullshit gift bag, just a shirt that just says NCAA March Madness or whatever the fuck it says, and probably a water and some lotion. Meanwhile, the guys getting damn near, in comparison, PS5s, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck going on, Corey?
They did the similar thing when the bubble started in Orlando when the NBA restarted. They did the same exact thing to the WNBA. The same exact thing. And I want to keep it more in the college realm because look, people argue, hey, well, WNBA players should get paid as much as the NBA players. Look, I get that argument to a degree, but I get it because you got a money disparity where obviously more people watch the NBA than the WNBA. So I'm gonna shove that off to the side, and I will admit I'm not educated enough to have a formal argument on that.
Right,
but now let's bring it back down to the NCAA, where none of the players are getting paid. Wink, wink, right? Supposed to be not getting paid. So if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, as Big V would say, why is there such a discrepancy between the two? Because let me tell you something, man. I understand the discrepancy between sports. In other words, not difference between men and women basketball, but sports. I don't necessarily expect for college or football amenities to be on the same parts as a lacrosse team or something like that. But here's the argument that they make. Oh, well, these big generational money, they come to fund other sports. Okay, so you're not paying the players, which they should be getting paid, but that's a whole nother podcast.
Right.
Okay, so fine. You don't want the players to get played, the whole amateurism. Okay, fine. I get all that. So does that mean they got to have shittier equipment? Are you kidding me? What? When I saw that, and here's the thing. I always thought that by the time everybody and their mama start getting one of these, when they got these little things up here called cameras and shit like that, that it'll kind of straighten up some people, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's these big weird fat cats and all this stuff. You said it best. Where the hell is the money going? Oh, well, it's going into these motherfuckers' pockets, not the players, but it's going into these fat cats at the damn top. You cannot during this movement of time's up, and women's empowerment, it shouldn't have been that way to begin with. But you can't just sit up here and shoot a big middle finger to everybody. You know that all kids do is stay on their phone and talk about stuff 24/7. Did you think that they were just going to just sit back and just be like, oh, well, yeah, well, our rooms are shitty. I guess it is what it is. Like, no. It's the women's movement, and they need to have it, and it shouldn't have even been an issue. NCAA is a billion-dollar industry. It is probably one of the most lucrative because you don't have to pay your workforce. So, being that you're not paying your workforce, you better have something else damn sure enough better to show for it, because you got that, and I get it. All colleges aren't created equal. I get all that. I'm speaking strictly for March Madness and the NCAA. I'm not talking about an A&T versus a University of North Carolina. I get that. They got a bigger endowment. They got bigger boosters. I'm not saying, I want, ladies and gentlemen, please be clear. I'm not saying it is impossible for every single college to be treated equally. It's just not how college works. But I'm talking about within the individual university or in an individual event such as March Madness. Ain't no way in hell that you're supposed to have that huge disparity going on. Well, these kids, they putting the daggone life on the line with COVID being out here still running rapid to sit up here and pay and play on an event that they're not getting any part, because I don't know how much CBS is paying the NCAA, but I guarantee you this, it's a shitload of money. I guarantee you this, it's a shitload much more than for the ladies to not have a good working workout room that they should. If I'm not mistaken, daggone, the women's was carried on ESPN. And I'm gonna tell you something that's even more disheartening. I have the NCAA March Madness app on my phone. And I said, let me go ahead and try to check out some women's scores while I'm watching the men's and or vice versa. Well, do you know that when I go to NCAA March Madness, it only has the men's scores?
What?
There is no link for women at all. I have to go to ESPN.com or the ESPN app to get women's. But see, the way that the app is branded, it is branded as March Madness Live right there. March Madness. You open that son bitch, all you're going to have is stuff for men. Men, there is nowhere in this menu for me to look for anything correlating to women's athletics as it relates to the March Madness.
I'm baffled.
So
I'm baffled, bro.
Because I'm like, well, okay, maybe it's hidden. Let me check some menus out. I get it. Okay, all right, fine. No, it's none of that. It is utter bullshit that these women are not celebrated and treated as fairly as the men. It's been an age-old debate since Billie Jean King back in tennis. This shit has got to stop. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. NCAA, you suck.
And the thing is, too, Corey, if not, treat them better. They're women.
Yeah.
Treat them better. They're women. Don't just throw them in some bullshit. Treat them better. They're women. You know what I mean? They're women.
Horrible.
It's horrible, man. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible, man. You know what I mean?
A salute to the ladies. Not that we got your back. That's for damn sure.
We got y'all back, man. We're going to keep it on the NCAA. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Roy Williams retired.
He's up out of there.
And Hubert Davis takes his place as head coach.
Yeah.
As two Carolina fans, you know what I mean? I'm gonna give my thoughts first on this, man.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to say, man, I was taken back when Roy Williams announced his retirement. I wasn't expecting that. It was definitely for me out of the blue. I'm pretty sure for him it wasn't, given he's had health issues on the sideline
with vertigo, in
the past, and these past couple of seasons, I know it's kind of probably been his toughest because we haven't been as talented as we usually would be, and then COVID came, and it was just having to deal with that and everything. It just hasn't been UNC's past. It hasn't been our years.
Yeah.
These past couple of years, it just haven't been our years. But holistically, man, Roy Williams, what a hell of a coach, man.
Hall of Famer.
You know what I mean? What a successor to Dean Smith, man.
3 ships.
I love him for what he did.
Absolutely.
For Carolina. You know what I mean? He always from a outside looking in standpoint, he was always fired up on the sideline, like he was giving his all. Him giving it all, always reflected on his players. His players play hard for him. Man, just big salute, man. We're gonna miss you, Roy. We miss you, Roy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I will say, man, I am, and I promise you, man, I am so happy, Corey, for Hubert Davis.
Yeah.
I cannot express that enough, man. Listen, Black excellence, man, I'ma always salute it. Hubert Davis was a hell of a player. I'll start there.
Yeah, he was.
Hell of a player for the young crowd that don't know, man. Hubert Davis, hell of a Carolina player.
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, too, I was young when he played. I think he did go pro, and I think
he played in the NBA. He played for several teams or whatnot, and actually had a couple of 3-pointer records while in the NBA. I want to say he was in the NBA for 7 years.
Okay.
And did his thing. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I definitely remember his days at Carolina because again, I know the history of Carolina. Huge Carolina fan. We're from Carolina. We're filming here in North Carolina. Like, that's our team, man. Hubert Davis was a hell of a college player, man. He always competed. Definitely salute to him. I'm so glad to see him in this light coming from an assistant to this light right here, man.
Yeah.
Big salute to Hubert Davis, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, Corey, he got me fired up, man.
You got you fired up,
man. That press conference got me fired up, Corey.
We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that in a bit too.
Man, let me tell you, boy, he got me fired up, man. I'm telling you, he
got a lot of other people fired up for other reasons too. But we'll get into that.
I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm happy. I'm happy for Hubert.
Absolutely.
I'm happy for Coach Roy Williams, man. Going out on his terms. You know what I mean? We appreciate you, man, and salute to you, man. And I'm definitely excited to see what Hubert Davis is going to bring to the table.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to be real careful with how I speak because with COVID and we're in the middle of a pandemic, I don't want to use the word death. Death is too strong of a word for the way that I felt on April Fool's Day when I got this news. But it felt similarly to a death. So let me clear that up, because obviously ain't nobody died. Thank God, right? But I went through my phases of grief when I found out this news, right?
Yeah.
And so I work from home about 90% of the time, so I always got the sports on in the background.
Right.
And of course, ESPN and Fox, whenever there's some breaking news, there's a big red ass ticker at the bottom. And it's like, motherfucker, you better read me. And so I read it, and I caught like the end of it. I'm like, why are they talking about Roy Williams? I didn't even see it. So it's on the DVR, and I rewind it. And Roy Williams retiring. I said, well, I tell you what, man, somebody done fooled ESPN. Somebody has fooled Fox Sports 1, and they're not about to fool me. Okay. All right, good. Motherfuckers, they like playing jokes. April Fool's Day. Hey, you were good. You were good, right? Like, you got me, but you didn't get me. But then I got because I went to ESPN.com again. Saw plaques all over the front. Okay, all right, it's ESPN. This wouldn't be the first time a news organization's been duped before. This shit happens, right? Not that often. They do a better job at vetting stories than they did back in the 80s and 90s. And so I said, let me go to Fox. Same damn thing. I said, well, motherfuckers, like they got Fox too. Like, I said, well, y'all some stuff. Y'all are good. I went to CBSSports.com. They said the same shit there too. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go to the source. I went to the University of North Carolina Tar Heels and Chapel Hill website. I saw it there, and I said, motherfucker. Press conference at 4:00. Now, here is the stages of grief. I'm not going to get to all of them because it makes me somber. But one of the first stages of grief is shock and denial. That's what I was in. I was in a state of denial, and I was in a state of denial until 4:00 p.m. when I watched this press conference. And even when the other athletic directors were speaking before they let old dadgummit Roy speak, I'm like, oh man, I'm just waiting for the got to y'all, come on, I ain't going nowhere. And Roy Williams started to speak. And he started to look teary-eyed. And I said, wait a minute. This is real. He's leaving. I'm like, whoa, time out. Now, by this time, I've posted on Facebook at least twice, like, oh, this is back when I first saw the news. This has got to be an April Fool's joke, right? And so I'm looking at it, and I'm still like, even 15 minutes into it, I'm just waiting for the and that moment never came. And so it went from denial to actually me being upset. Like, never mind the fact the man is 70 years old. Never mind the fact that this man got money that he could use as chairs in his house, right? Like, it's stacked up, racks on racks. Like, Roy don't need no money. Like, Roy's rich, bitch. Like, he got dough, right? Because, I mean, look, man, when I'm 65, I'm going to bag work. I'm going to figure something out. I'm not working past 65, no more than 67. But getting back to good old Roy, I went into the anger mode. Like, why are you doing this, man? Like what? Like, we're not good for you anymore? Like, this is me just being upset. I'm not rational. Logic is, omit the logic. The logic is out the window at this point.
Right, of course.
And he started talking about how his wife actually wanted him to stop back in 2009 after they won the last championship. And I was like, oh, whoa, because you're married, I'm married. Yeah. We could sit here and say, oh, well, we're going to do whatever we want. Let me tell you something. In any life, whether you're a 9-to-5 cat, an ultra pro Negro, or a daggone professional athlete, your wife has pull. Or your partner is going to have pull in what you say. And that shit matters. Yeah. Like, it does matter. Absolutely. And the fact that he coached basically another, 10, 11, 12 years after that. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of like, well, damn, man, like, okay, I'm starting to kind of get it. But even then, I'm waiting for it to be a singular reason. And of course, it's never a singular reason. It's a litany of things. Anytime that I rarely ever left the job in my career over one thing. It's always been things that added up, and then you get to a point like I can't have it. And so I remember talking to you and talking to other of my Carolina friends about our plans for this year in regards of making the tournament. And the whole deal was like, man, you know what, man? We make the tournament, we'll be good. And Roy brought up the fact that a lot of Carolina fans, and I fall into this lineage of, well, you know what? Fuck the tournament. Just beat Duke twice a year. We don't give two shits about the tournament. And we can say that because we got championships. Like, you know, if we never had a championship, then that's fine. But that just goes to show the type of guy that Roy Williams is, because that's not his standard.
No.
His standard is championships.
Every year.
Every single year. I'm of the mindset of like, well, look, you can't win a championship every year. But man, I honestly, I'm a guy, and I'm gonna give Duke props. You know, don't go crazy over here. But I'm to the point. I respect Duke so much that, like, you know what? Even if we split with Duke in a year, that's a good year to me.
Yeah,
because we've been getting our asses handed to us by Duke for a long time during the Roy Williams era. We haven't swept them too many times.
No,
we swept them this year. We swept them, I want to say, either 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe even been 2 years ago. And then I think back in 2008, those are the only times that we ever swept Duke, right? And that's in college, the rivalries are exactly what that is, right?
Yeah.
And so that's our standards, but that's not Roy Williams' standards. Right?
No.
Me sitting up here telling you and telling anybody who cares to listen to me rant and rave saying, well, you know what, man, as long as we get to the tournament, man, we'll be okay. And then even the predictions was, oh, well, shoot, man, we ain't gonna get out the weekend this year. We're gonna be lucky as hell to get out the weekend in this March Madness tournament. That's not Roy Williams' standards.
No,
that's not his standards. Now, on one end of me is like, Roy, look, man, every program is going to have a down year. Like, you look at Kentucky. Kentucky's all fucked up. You don't see Calipari going anywhere, right? And Duke have down years. They're not going anywhere, or whatnot. So that's where a lot of my anger was coming from. But you know what, man? I can't tell that man how to feel anything about it. So then I hit my next phase. My next phase is that of celebratory mode, where it's like, man, you know what? We was lucky to have this guy. Because he turned us down once before, right? Yeah. And it took us asking him again. Dean Smith actually personally reaching out to him saying, hey, look, the first time that we asked you, we wanted you. The second time we asked you, we need you. And that was just tough for old Roy to turn down. So I think we were as lucky to have him. He will be missed. Yeah. Like I said, I'm still in grieving mode because that same day my phone is blowing up like, well, who do you want to replace? I said, dude, I can't even think about that right now. Yeah. That's like, God forbid, if one of our significant others pass away, well, who you gonna date next? Motherfucker, I gotta deal with this.
Way too soon,
right? And so I started thinking of the other coach that was there, Steve Robinson. Said this man been behind Roy for 27 years. He's a brother, the tall, bald-headed black guy with the glasses on. I mean, he's the guy who's even taken over for Roy a few times, but Roy would have to leave a game due to vertigo issues or whatnot. Steve Robinson. And, you know, he followed Roy almost his whole damn career.
Okay.
And I thought that he was going to be up for it. But my whole thing getting to Hubert Davis was that I wanted a person that's qualified, and I didn't really care so much if there was black and white. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm a sports nut. I didn't want it to just be a token of, oh, well, let's just give it to a black guy.
Right,
I want it to be, if it's going to be a black guy, then where it's going to be anybody needs to be qualified. I'm gonna tell you what, because we've been spoiled. Us Carolina fans, Duke fans, Kentucky, we are spoiled out of our ass. Like you think about it.
Yeah.
I was born in the 80s. You was born in the 80s. We've had a total of 4 head coaches total, whereas other college coaches or sports teams in almost any sport, you're going to basically have a new damn coach every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
That's true.
I came in under the Dean Smith era.
Yeah.
And then when Dean Smith retired, we had Bill Guthridge, and Bill Guthridge did not rock the boat. He was kind of like how George Seifert was with the 49ers with Bill Walsh.
Yeah,
we're going to keep the ball rolling. We ain't going to mess up nothing. And then he left, and then we had Matt Daughtry. Matt Daughtry, ladies and gentlemen, was a hell of a recruiter. Shitty coach, hell of a recruiter. And the thing about with Matt was that he was a Tar Heel as well in the early 80s or whatnot. And for whatever reason, he did not embody the Carolina way. And people are like, well, what do you mean by that? The Carolina way is of equality, justice, fair shakes, playing the best person, and we're going to teach your ass while you're here about life. Mm-hmm. And you're going to respect the Tar Heel tradition. Now, somewhere along the line, and this was rumored, I don't have any facts to back this up, but Dean Smith at that time was obviously still alive and he still had his office. Well, it was rumored, alleged that Matt Daughtry wanted Dean Smith's office. Whoa. Time out. Now, I love my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I love his daddy known as God. But let me tell you who's God on the Tar Heel campus in the Dean Dome. He goes by the name of Dean Edward Smith, right? That's God on Carolina's campus. You don't fix your face to say anything about being in his office or, well, he's not coaching anymore. Why don't we move it out? This is allegedly. This is alleged, right? But you don't fix your... You are lucky that we even chose you to be the coach. We can have anybody go outside the family. And that's the thing. My biggest concern was that, well, and I get it, because sometimes you look at like Michigan, most notably in their football program, where they tend to hang on to Michigan guys, and it hasn't really paid off that well, right? And so anytime these head coaches, when we switch, it's a big deal because you're going to have some rough patches. And we did. We went to the NIT either the first or second year that he was there. But let me give Matt a little bit of credit, because that same team that Roy got, those was Matt Daughtry players when we got the 05 championship. So let me get, again, he could recruit his ass off, but somewhere he could not coach, and he wanted to kind of shake things up again. That's not how it works in Carolina. No, it's just not how it works. No. I heard there was rumor that we may have been looking at Mark Few and the Gonzaga's head coach and things of that nature. And I was like, well, it would be interesting. Again, I don't really have a dog in the fight in the sense of who we should have, because my answer would be, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but we need to definitely look in-house. And I was telling people, I'm like, oh no, we're going to look in-house first. We're going to exhaust every single opportunity in-house first. I promise you, that's going to happen first. And if something doesn't happen, then that's a whole different ball game. So look, I'm extremely happy that Hubert Davis got the job. I don't know a lot about him from a coaching standpoint. But to be fair, Kansas didn't know a lot about Roy Williams when they took him years ago. So I was excited with Roy Williams because we had already seen what he did with Kansas. Of course. Right? So you don't have that with Hubert Davis. And I just hope that, because we could be an extremely impatient fan base, we don't take the losing too well, right? No. And so I hope that he's up for the task. I think what I gathered from the Roy Williams presser was that he is not a fan of the transfer portal. He's not a fan of the name, the NIL, the name, image, and likeness of that, where I kind of disagree with him a bit on that, but that's a conversation for another day with that. And I guess he just didn't look, his standards are way higher than ours. He knows what he can and can't do. He knows what he can and cannot get out of kids, and he knows whether he can or cannot get those out of kids, and if he's losing touch with that. And I salute to him, salute to Hubert Davis. He might need to stay off Black Twitter just for a little bit, because he did ruffle some feathers with that. And it's going to be interesting to get your take, because you tell the people. You haven't heard.
I've heard, you know what I mean? I just heard, I ain't gonna lie, I heard bits and pieces today. Because let me tell you, right before I came into the pod, right, I looked at my phone and my homeboy posted on Facebook. He said, just that fast, people are already done with Hubert Davis as a head coach. I said, yo, what the hell? What is going on? Right before I came in. So I caught some bits and pieces.
All right.
So I want you to tell the audience as well as
I would tell the audience because they look for us to keep it real, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
And I respond back when you tell me everything, because I'm going to be fair. You know what I mean?
All right. So obviously he is a black man, and he is married to a white wife, which is no harm in that at all, right?
Okay.
So he made the statement, it is, and I'm paraphrasing, that, hey, I'm proud to be a black man, taking this job. I'm proud for the equality that needs to exist on this campus, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just as proud to have a white wife, right? And not only am I proud to have a white wife, I am extremely proud that our biracial kids are going to have the best of both of us. And so Black Twitter didn't take too kindly to the fact of I'm proud to have a white wife. It's the aesthetics of it that people are taking issue with. It's going to be really interesting to get your take because you have a white wife as Black Twitter. I have to emphasize white because that's how Twitter is emphasized. The white wife, right? Like, why can't you just say her name and stuff like that? And so I'm kind of like, when I heard it on the face of it, I'm like, well, all right, what's kind of the big deal? I'm more liberal when it comes to interracial dating and stuff like that. Like it doesn't bother me. It never has, or whatnot. So I may not be able to catch on to it like a quote unquote a militant pro black, like just would, right? And so someone broke it down and it was like, well, it's more of the deal of white women are celebrated everywhere. He didn't need to emphasize that, right? And, nobody has the problem with the biracial kids and saying it's going to take the best of both of us or whatever. But it's kind of what people are saying is that it's kind of in Coonsville, USA, where you kind of try to play up for the white folks. And I'm proud to have a white wife. That's more so what it is. Versus like, well, why can't you just say that, hey, because black women are so underrepresented, which is true, or whatnot. They're underrepresented. You don't see them in front of every magazine and stuff like this. White women you can find all over the place, from Colorado to Italy to Japan to wherever. Like, white women are fucking everywhere, whatever. Why you have to be so proud of your white wife? Would you be proud of her if she wasn't white? So the way he said it, I don't know if it came out right, but here's what I took from it and my thoughts on it. My thoughts are, Hubert, you better be careful, brother, because Black Twitter ain't no joke. I don't find anything wrong with men married to a white woman, dating a white woman. I don't find anything wrong with it. But you need to make sure that whatever you're doing in your presser, make sure it's kind of prepared. Don't start going off the riff and stuff like that, because you're going to upset a whole bunch of black people. And, I want to use it, as Charlemagne the God would say, as a teachable moment where we just call you up front and be like, hey, look, man, you're not a bad guy, but you don't necessarily have to play yourself up to white folks. You got this job because you're qualified. We're quite sure that your wife is a fine, loving woman, one of the probably second to none to mothers to your wonderful children, but you don't have to be like, and I'm proud of my white wife, so that's what, in a nutshell, I'm super paraphrasing of what went on with that. So, watch it, brother. Look, I'm for all people and equality across the board. That's what I fight for as a black man. Is not to be better than anybody, regardless of they color, religion, sex, race, or creed, but just to, hey, if something happens over here, then it needs to happen over here too. So that had a bit of some issues going on with Mr. Hubert Davis there. Yeah.
I haven't heard the clip. I got it here on my phone. I want to play the clip.
Go ahead, play the clip.
I want to hear.
Yeah.
Myself. Let me see.
Yeah.
The first black head coach at UNC men's basketball. I know that in terms of Division I head coaches all around the country, only 26% of the head coaches for Division I men's basketball are compromised by minorities, specifically African Americans. I know that it is significant that I'm fourth African American head coach in any sport in the history of the University of North Carolina. I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white. And I'm very proud that my 3 beautiful, unbelievable kids are a combination of both of us.
Let me preface what I'm gonna say.
All right.
By saying that, yeah, you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't know,
yeah.
I am married to a white woman, and I love her so much. It's my baby. You know what I mean? Corey, you know, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it light on this, brother.
All right.
But I'm gonna keep it real.
Speak to the people.
You know, man, you know, as kids, and I know you come from a great household, man.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, your parents taught you about manners, and I know your parents taught you all kind of just small rules of life.
Yeah.
And one of those rules of life that I know that your parents taught you, and also that my parents have taught me, is this. There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for everything.
Yeah.
And I know also your parents taught you another rule of life. Everything don't have to be said.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Corey,
yeah, absolutely.
He did not exercise any of those rules on that podium in that press conference. Let me tell you. And I'm gonna get a little. I'm gonna play both sides of it real quick.
Yeah, respect.
Just to shine some light on some things that you said. I'm gonna take it back to I am a black man married to a white woman.
Yeah,
I am. We're soulmates. I strongly believe that you cannot help who you fall in love with, and you cannot help who your soulmate is in life. You cannot help that. If you think that you can help that, to me, in my opinion, you don't believe in fate and you don't believe in God.
And I'll go so far as to say you're an idiot if you think otherwise, but this is my personal 2 cents.
I like that. Me too. I back you on that.
Yeah.
So, as a black man, the only white woman I've ever dated as my girlfriend has been my wife.
Yeah.
I've said that on the show. Dated and smashed are 2 different things.
Oh, no question. Oh, that's different. Yeah.
She's the only white woman I've brought home to my mother.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, Corey. And I love my black queens.
No question.
I love my black queens, man. I love my black queens so much, man. I do. I love them, man. I love them. And to further your point of how black women are misrepresented and underrepresented in this country and in all industries.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw in the NCAA tournament we just touched on. They're just so underrepresented. Not just black women, period. Women as a whole.
Women, yeah.
But for black women, like you said, highly underrepresented.
Yeah.
Highly underappreciated. And deserve all the utmost praise there is to have. That's first and foremost, man. And to me, in my opinion, most, not all, most black men know that.
Yeah.
So when you see other people who are in the same race relationship, such as a black man and a black woman, and he says he's on the podium and he says, you know, shout out to my black queen. Yeah. I love her so dear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where are my black queens at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all stand up. All black queens should stand up. Yeah. You know what I mean? That man should definitely highlight his black queen. Definitely. Because she has stood there and being with that man while he's been hustling, while he's been grinding to get to that top spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Put me on that podium, Corey. Hypothetically, I'm the coach of North Carolina.
Yes.
Can you imagine me saying, I'm so proud to have my white wife alongside of me. And I'm proud that me and her made these kids together and got both of them in here. Got both of our sides together.
Yeah.
Can you imagine me saying, yo, shout out to my white queen in the back?
No, I can't. I can't. I'm trying to picture that. And I've got a movie going on in my head of now panning out to the fans and people and the athletic directors that are in the crowd watching you as you speak.
With my suit on. I got a suit on. Imagine me. Three-piece. You did what I'm saying? 3-piece. You know what I mean? I'm fly. And he asked me that question, and I say, yo, I'm proud. I'm proud of everything that comes with this job. I'm also proud of my white wife. I want to give a shout out to my white queen that's in the back for holding me down. Now, Corey, I just want you to imagine that for a second while I talk, man. Corey, you know why that would be a violation? Because not to say those things aren't true, because she is my white queen.
Absolutely.
She is my white queen. She is my white queen. Let me be clear on that. She does hold me down, and I do love her. And I would shout her out.
Yeah.
But let me say this. If you think for one fucking second I was telling that goddamn podium and say, shout out to my white queen, I love my white wife, you got me entirely fucked up. Corey, it's a time and place for everything. And let me tell you, on that fucking podium,
horrible.
On that fucking podium, nobody asked you, first of all.
That's what most people were saying. That's what most people were saying. Was like, well, did anybody ask him for anything? Like, no, he came off that. He just came off and said it.
Nobody asked you. You were talking entirely too much. Hello, another rule we learned that your parent taught you as a child. Learn when to shut up.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Absolutely.
What are you talking about on this fucking podium?
I mean,
you can shout out your wife without anybody knowing what color she is. And even if she was black, you don't have to say, oh, shout out to my melanin queen. I love my melanin. You didn't have to get into your melanin bag. You didn't have to get into any race bag. You chose that bag. Hell, what the fuck are you doing?
He could have just said, I want to shout out to my wife who has held me down for the past year since I've been, and it would have been that.
And after that, zip it. After that, zip it.
That's
after
it.
That, zip it.
What they say in the Chappelle show, wrap it up, B. Wrap it up. Like,
that's it. That's all you had to do. You chose to take it there. And not only that, we didn't know that your kids were biracial. We didn't know what. Bro, I didn't know.
Most people didn't even know he had a white. I didn't know he had a white wife.
I didn't know.
I'm not saying that it matters. I'm not saying that it matters.
We're saying he made it matter. You made it matter, Hubert. What are you doing, Hubert? Nobody knew. I didn't even know that you were married. Nonetheless, I didn't even care. I didn't even care.
There you go.
I didn't even care. I didn't even care. Here I am bigging up you about taking on this head coaching job and saluting you as a black man. And here you are embarrassing black men that are married to white women like me. I don't do those games. I would have never did that. I would have never took it there. And let me tell you, furthermore, I always make it my business not to take it there. When I tell people I'm married, I never tell people, well, you know I'm married to a white woman. No, I never.
That's right.
I never do that.
You never did that with me. That's right. Because you know what? It don't fucking matter.
It don't matter. It don't matter, bro. It should not matter. Hubert, what are you doing? You made it matter. You put this spotlight. You put Black Twitter on your ass, as they should be.
Yeah.
As they should be. You are wilding, Hubert. Like nobody asked you. Nobody said nothing about that and asked you. Nobody said, well, what does your white wife think about it? Well, my wife, she loves that I'm taking over the job. And even if that instance, if somebody asks you, how does your white wife think about it? If you don't hop off the stadium and whoop his ass, off the podium and whoop his ass, you have a problem. Because let me tell you something. It could have been me if somebody asked me some shit. Yo, so what's your white wife think about it? Yo, hey, hold on. Hey, hold my blunt real quick. I'm about to go whoop his ass. Hold on real quick. Because I see he trying to get fly. You know what I mean? But nobody was trying to get fly with you, Hubert.
Nobody
even knew the race of your children. What are you doing?
Let me tell you something, man. I got another friend of mine. He has an Asian wife, and the topic of conversation of you and your white wife, as Hubert would say, or my friend and his Asian wife. You want to know how many times the race of their wives or your wives ever came up in anything? Zero. None. Because you said it, dog. You said it. And I'm not going to turn into Steve Harvey or nothing like that, but your soulmate is who your soulmate is, right? Now, again, I say this before. I've never dated a white woman, but that don't mean that I would not date a white woman. I think proximity and everything else has just as much to do with it as anything else. We both went to Kinston High. It's 80% black, 20% white. Ain't that many of them around there at Kinston High. I went to A&T. You went to A&T. Ain't really too many white women crawling around there. Had I went to UNCG or had I stayed in the country in the small town called Pink Hill, where it's like 20% black and 80% white, I'm quite sure I would have dated somebody white, right? And let's be crystal clear. Just, I'm a happily married man. But dating and smashing are two different things. I'll leave it at that. Okay? Let's be crystal clear on that. Okay, let's be crystal clear on that. But look, man, when you start prefacing things with, well, this black guy did this, or this white thing. People are so quick to put things in a damn box. Hubert, we don't need you putting your wife or your beautiful children in a box. That's not necessary. It's not necessary. And again, it's not, look, having pride in who you dating, there's nothing wrong with that. But the way it came off to me, I'm proud to be dating a white wife. So let me guess, if she was black, would you have dated her? Because see, I've told my wife this, right? Now, I love my wife with all her heart. I love her soul just like you love your wife's soul. Color, if I told her this years ago, if you have been a white woman with the same type of personality and the same exact thing that you got going on now, we would be married. Mm-hmm. We would be married because it's you who I'm attracted to.
Yeah.
Period, point blank in the conversation. Had you been Hispanic, had you been Asian, it's the soul, it's the personality. That's enough of the Steve Harviness or whatever. But I'm just saying, man, look, don't make race an issue when it already don't have to be one, because everybody else is going to make it an issue. You don't need you doing that. You don't need to be doing that to your family, man. So no. I'm going to assume that he just misspoke. We'll see how he moves on here. Maybe he was nervous on the mic, but Twitter ain't going to let that slide. Black Twitter especially ain't going to let it slide.
Hubert, message to Hubert. Go back to the basics, man.
Hubert!
Listen, man, be quiet. You know what I mean? Learn when to be quiet.
Shut the fuck up!
Shut the hell up. You know what I mean? Please, man. And everything don't have to be said, man. Jesus
That's exactly
Christ.
Right. That's exactly right.
Oh, my God, man.
But good luck with the Hills. And I know it's probably going to be maybe a rough start, but, man, hopefully things will pick up and so go Hills. Good God.
Go Hills, man. We're gonna switch it over to the baseball, to the diamond, though.
Let's
you know what I mean? Let's go to the diamond. Opening day was April 1st. You know what I'm saying? I was geared up in my Yankee gear. You know what I mean? I was hyped, Corey. I was hyped.
Yeah.
All for the Yankees to lose, but that ain't really what I want to talk about.
Man, look, don't get me started on my team. I'm an Oakland Athletics fan, and we finally won our first game last night against the Dodgers. I don't know how the hell that shit happened, but we did. So we're like 1-5 or something. We stink.
Hey, it's still early. Still early, man.
Yeah, it's true. All right.
I want to talk about the MLB.
Yeah.
And the new video game. I'm a video game head.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they're coming out with MLB 21, the show. And I just want to give a little backstory on the MLB series. For a long time, if not ever, it was not on Xbox.
Couldn't believe that. I did not know that until today when I read about it.
It was not on Xbox at all until this year. Sony makes the game, by the way, and it was always on PlayStation, never on Xbox for the most part.
Never knew that.
You know what I mean? Until this year. You know what I mean? The MLB, from what I've read and what I've been told, came to Sony and said, not Sony, but came to Xbox and said, hey, we want to do business with y'all. And not only are they going to do business with them, they're throwing it on the Xbox Game Pass. For those who don't know, the Xbox Game Pass is a subscription, monthly based service. You pay for Xbox, which it runs about $15 a month, $14.99, where you have access to all the Xbox titles, Xbox 360 titles, and all the way up to the next generation Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S games. You have access to, to me, it feels like well over 1,000 games almost. You get free games every month with the pass. You can go. I mean, it's almost literally, to put it in a perspective form, it is like the Netflix of gaming. I promise you, man. You log on with the Game Pass, and you can just pick and choose.
Pick whatever game you want to play.
All the way back, and also all of the games on the Game Pass are backwards compatible. Meaning, again, you can play Xbox 360 games on your Xbox One or your new generation Xbox.
That's huge.
You know what I mean? They have games dating back to 2000 when whatever, you know what I mean, early 2000s. Like, and I mean even before then, they even have games like Indiana Jones. You know what I mean, like things of that nature. So it is huge that the MLB 21 The Show game is coming to Game Pass, because if for $15 a month you get to play it anytime you want to for free, versus having to spend $60-$70 for the game. You know what I mean? So salute to MLB and Xbox for getting it done. But the thing that I want to talk about, and what I'm most excited about, and what I want to shine a light on the MLB for, is they have an edition of the game called the Jackie Robinson edition.
Nice.
Jackie Robinson is on the cover, and they are donating $1 to the Jackie Robinson Foundation for each copy sold. Which I want to tip my hat to the MLB for that. For one particular reason, for me personally, is because the MLB, and still is, and for so long, has been known as almost like a white man's sport or a white man's world. You know what I mean? A lot of blacks in the beginning were frowned upon playing this game, and it took people such as Jackie Robinson to break through. And not only him, a couple of others, but I just want to highlight Jackie Robinson for a minute.
Absolutely.
And him playing in the Negro League and things of that nature, and just taking a stance for people of color to be able to play this game. And I want to shine a light on MLB, because they always get backlash of being a white man's world, a white man's sport. I don't know whose decision it was. MLB, Xbox, whoever. I'm pretty sure it was mostly MLB for putting out this legendary edition of the Jackie Robinson game, edition of the MLB 21, and donating $1. And it is major for this to happen, being the fact that so many people are going to be playing this. If you have it, get the legendary edition. $1 of it goes to a good cause. It's $100. It's $99.99. $1. It comes with some extra stuff. You can get extra gear and things of that nature that you can play within the game. But most importantly, $1 of it is going to a good cause. If 500,000 people get the game, that's $500,000 going to Jackie Robinson Foundation, man.
That's dope. That's dope.
However many people is going to get it, man. It all goes to a good place. It all goes to a man who helped African Americans basically be successful in this league and actually paved the way for a lot of the black athletes who played baseball, like Andrew McCutcheon. I pronounce his last name wrong all the time.
Yeah, McCutcheon. Yep.
You know what I mean? And people like him and David Justice and people of that nature from back in the day, and Fred the Crime Dog McGriff, and the list.
Reggie Jackson's back in the day. Daryl Strawberry.
Come on, man.
Dude.
Yeah. He set the table. He set the table, man.
Absolutely,
he set the table,
man.
bro. So I feel like if you're a gamer, and if you are specifically a black gamer, you kind of owe it, and you love the game of baseball, that is, you kind of owe it to the person who helped set this table up and pave the way for some of your some of your favorite black athletes from Frank Thomas to Bo Jackson, whoever it may be.
Frank Thomas.
Man, come
Big
on,
hurt.
man. Like they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jackie Robinson.
Absolutely.
I pre-ordered myself. I also have an Xbox, so I will be playing on Game Pass as well. But I also bought it for the PS5. I bought the Jackie Robinson edition for the PS5. I'm already pre-ordered up. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually just buying it, Corey, for the cover. Jackie Robinson's on the cover, man. That's major for me.
I was thinking the same thing. I haven't bought the show. I haven't bought the show in years. I mean, it's been a long time. I don't play baseball a lot on my PlayStation, but that's normally because I get my ass whooped in it, so I kind of gave up on it. But I like this when you sent me I had no idea about this at all. Mm-hmm. And when I read it and I saw the cover, I still have the PS4, and I think they make it for the PS4 as well.
Absolutely.
And I think I might just say, what the hell? I get my ass whooped on it or not. I get my ass whooped in pretty much any game that I play. So I mean, fuck it. I think I'm gonna go cop that as well. Yeah, man, look. Baseball, much as I'm into basketball and football and stuff like that, man, I'd be lying if I said that my first love of sports as a kid wasn't baseball. Like, we used to go to the Kinston Indians games, minor league baseball team. Back. My dad used to take me, almost every weekend.
What a time to be alive, boy.
Man. Big deal. Used to watch the fireworks down there. And then when we moved up to Greensboro, I mean, my wife and I, we try to make it a habit to go see a couple of Greensboro Grasshoppers game. I mean, baseball is one of those deals. It's a bit tough to watch on TV. Yeah, but man, when you are out there, it is just it's nothing like having beer and a bratwurst and popcorn and sodas and corn dog. Like, it's just, baseball was my first love, and it still is my first love from a sporting standpoint. Again, I think the season is too damn long, but that's a whole nother story. But as far as a kid, I mean, and especially the wave of black players that we had when we was coming up and during the 80s and even with the 90s or whatnot, it was just phenomenal. A lot of people were baseball fans back then. And I tell you what, man, like you said, with the MLB mostly being with white folks and things of that nature, or white man sports, I want to also salute the MLB for pulling out the All-Star game out of Georgia with the black vote suppression.
Talk about that.
We moved that shit. Like, that shit got moved. They don't like how the voter suppression laws against minorities, black folks and Hispanic folks in particular, people who may not have the means to do what they need to do in regards of voting. They're trying to make it to whereas in Georgia, they're trying to make it to whereas, hey, they're trying to basically kill early voting. They're even trying to make it illegal that if you are sitting out and waiting out in line, that it would be illegal for someone to pass out bottled water. Those are ridiculous. Those are just the tidbits of some of the voter suppression laws that they got, because some people aren't happy with the election turnout. And my deal is this: no matter who wins or who loses, it's always your local elections. It's probably going to be more important than your national elections. And not only that, let the people speak. This country is built on democracy. It always have been, right? And so you don't need to let no one take that away from us as a whole, individually, nor as a country. And I do think it was a big deal for MLB, who is mostly considered, white folk sport, to say, hey, no, we're moving our shit. Bye. Yep. And yeah, it's going to be short-term ramifications. I mean, there's going to be, it's in Atlanta, which is mostly black, but they sent this as a statement. Or whatnot. And, some people could say, oh, it's not really a big deal. Well, it is kind of a big deal because the Masters is going on right now as we speak. And guess who's still playing out there in Augusta, Georgia? Yeah. The people from the Masters. They had the gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he came out and said, yeah, but while we are against voter suppression laws, everyone should have the right to vote for whoever they want and have the right to be counted as they should be counted. But we don't feel that us boycotting is going to change anything. Oh, okay. So there you go, golf fans. There you go. Yeah. Yes. So for MLB, because you kind of expect this, you definitely expect this like from the NBA. The NBA pulled their All-Star game with the HB2 law, with the transgender law a few years ago. So you kind of expect stances from this from the NBA. NFL 50-50. That's kind of hit or miss. MLB pulling this was a shocker to me.
Yeah, me too.
It's a shocker to me.
Yeah, me too. I was totally shocked when I heard because my mom actually called me and told me about what they was trying to do about people handing out water and trying to make it illegal, you know, in the voting lines and stuff.
They don't want you to vote.
Yeah, they don't want you to. They doing anything to try to get us up out of there, man, and do that bullshit. So I'm definitely happy that the MLB is taking a stance on this. This is a good look for the MLB. You know what I mean? And I just hope it's a sincere look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope it's
and only time will tell. But you know, they didn't really have to even do that. So I give them credit on that.
I agree. I agree, man. Definitely. Salute to the MLB, man. On the Jackie Robinson edition of the game, inking the deal with Xbox and the Game Pass, and as well as, you know, having the black people's backs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I appreciate
good for them.
Man.
Good, and that kind of lets you know that, you know, while George Floyd is no longer here, you know, we just don't want his death to be in vain. And if it takes waking up people who aren't black to at least just give a glimpse of what it's like to be us, and what we have to go through. Not saying that white folks don't have to go through anything, because everybody got their own deal. But there are some people who have it worse than you, and just to kind of just open the blinds up just a little bit, like, hey man, this is what it's like. And I want to salute any ally who's not black, you know, or whatever. And,
absolutely.
And shout out to the Asian community as well, because what's going on with them is some bullshit too. But that's a whole nother podcast. I'm telling you, I stand with my Asian brothers and sisters as well. That shit is wrong. Yeah, it's all wrong.
Yeah, it's all wrong.
People need to stand up for them too. People need to stand up for all people of color.
Absolutely.
And if you're white and if you're an ally, God bless you, because we love you just as much. Straight up.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna switch gears and go from the MLB to the NBA right quick, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What would this podcast be without any Laker talk? What would this podcast be without any Laker talk?
What would it be?
You know what I mean? Since our last podcast, the Lakers have added an addition to, you know what I mean, with Andre Drummond, another big man. You know what I'm saying? Man, no LeBron yet, no AD. But we're gonna talk about this addition of Andre Drummond, one of my favorite big men in the league.
Yeah, man.
Has this? I know you shared your thoughts that at first you thought Lakers gonna get the chip regardless. Then you came back and said, not so fast.
This is a good question.
What are your thoughts now that we have a dominant big man? This is no slight to the homie. What's my man's name?
We got Marc Gasol.
Gasol. This is no slight to Gasol. You know what I mean? I heard he's been a little unhappy.
Oh yeah. He's up in it right now.
He's up in it right now. But man, with the addition that the Nets have added with Blake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all their pieces, and Durant is back now.
Aldridge, yeah.
You have Lamar Aldridge with his fadeaway and all that. How beautiful that is. What are your thoughts now? Because with Andre Drummond now joining the Lakers, who might I add, are in the top, I think, 3 defensive teams in the league.
Yeah.
I want to put that stat out there because it's important for us to put that stat out there.
That is important.
Because lot of people, I don't think they're aware of that. Top 3 defensive teams in the league is the Lakers. Do you think that our Lakers now have a chance at winning that chip back? Or are you still saying, no way?
Let me tell you something, man. I was ecstatic when I heard that Andre Drummond was signing, because it was like, oh, all he got to do is, get to the buy. I'm like, well, buy the motherfucker out there. Get him. We need him. Look, man, I'm super ecstatic. This is what we've been missing. I'm tremendously excited. That being said, it just got a lot harder for Brooklyn to beat the Lakers. It just got a lot harder for Brooklyn to beat the Lakers.
What?
It got a lot harder, and I'm gonna tell you.
I'm out again, Corey. I'm out. Man.
Yeah. It's gotten a bit steep. Dude, this is what we've been missing all year.
Okay.
This is what we've been missing all year. I never agreed with getting rid of Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee.
Okay.
I always favored keeping at least one of them. I had no idea that we was going to get rid of both of them. I know what they was trying to do. I think they was hoping that Marc Gasol would be that true 5, and he's not. He really plays like a stretch 4 at best. He's good on the 3-point line.
I love him. I love him.
I just don't think that, and I don't remember what he played in Memphis if he was a true 5 or not. But he gets in such foul trouble with the quickness when he plays the 5. Right? I actually like Marc Gasol out there on the perimeter. You need a Andre Drummond in the middle as a physical preference, or presence or whatnot. And it's a huge pickup. Now, I'm hoping, I've read a few articles where, Gasol is definitely Saudi. What he's like, I don't know if I'm the plan A, or he knows he's not the plan A, or the plan C. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm kind of glad the trade season is over with already, because I was like, geez, like, gosh. Because we will need him. We will need him as well. Or whatnot. But the Andre Drummond is a good pick. I'm excited, assuming that LeBron and AD are healthy. I would almost argue, fuck it, I'll put my name on it. I would argue that we got our big 3. I would argue that we got our big 3 with Andre Drummond, daggone LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. We got our big 3 now. We got our big 3. I'm telling you now. You know,
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
Yeah.
Until you said it like that, man, I hadn't even. Man, let me tell you, man, that just sent chills up my spine, man. Like,
I think we got our big 3, bro.
Go ahead, man.
I think we got it. I think I'm using the word "think," but I'm telling you, when he came to us, and obviously we're not picking up anything now. Now again, we still need to make sure that we're not in the 7th or the 8th seed,
right,
or anything like that. That whole plan, then negate what I said. But assuming health, obviously, I'm really hoping to the great Lord Almighty and my Savior Jesus Christ that we can at least keep the 6th seed or above when the smoke settles. Man. Because I want these guys to play together. A couple of games, a good 10, 15 games before the season is over with, or whatnot. I know that Anthony Davis is rumored, and that's all it is, it's a rumor, to be back in like another week or so, or whatnot. Take that as you will. I think they're going to really see how. I think Lakers and Jeannie Buss and Pelinka, what I think they're going to do, I think they're going to ride it till the wheels fall off. Because if we're talking about it, they get paid to do this. This is their job. If they see us just totally sliding out of playoff contention, the cavalry's probably going to be back a lot sooner, because obviously if we don't make the playoffs, none of these moves that we did on the trade deadline will matter.
Ain't gonna matter.
So I think they're going to keep AD out as long as they possibly can. The same deal with LeBron. And I'm hoping that we could coast and at least get to the 6th spot. We don't have any more brawls where you got Montrezl Harrell and a few other people, cats trying to body slam Dennis Schroeder and things like that, with cats getting kicked out of games and shit like that, or whatever. So I know they've been suspended for this game tonight. I know Montrezl Harrell here. I think THT he's suspended or fined, one of the two, or whatnot. But all that aside, man, I'm assuming health, and I'm assuming that we get in as a 6. No lower than a 6. I like this guy. I like them, and don't underestimate what playing at a place where you want to be at versus you're just kind of like lost in the cog of Detroit and Cleveland. And people know, and much respect to those teams, people know them cats aren't making any noise. So why am I going to give it my own all? I mean, I was watching the Brooklyn game and the Pelicans game last night where Blake Griffin, he dunked a basketball. Go figure. The man who jumped over a damn Kia back in the late 2000s, he dunked the basketball. The things you could do when you're motivated and as you really want to be somewhere, the things you could do is just magical. And I feel that way with Andrew Jones. I think he wants to be here.
I think he does too. Yeah, I think he wants to be here. It's a definitely different weather from Detroit. You know what I mean? LA definitely has other opportunities. Movie opportunities for him, whatever he probably wants at his disposal. You get to play with two of the best players in the world with LeBron and AD. I'm gonna tell you what I'm looking forward, man. I'm looking forward to having him and Montrez down low.
Ooh,
like
yes, sir.
I don't think, man.
Straight.
You talk about the grit in the playoffs. Those two on the floor together,
bro.
Man, we need that if we're going against people that are stacked teams with LeBron and not LeBron, but KD,
absolutely,
and people of that nature. We're going to need that grit. You know what I mean? Kind of like Detroit had that grit back in the day with Mahorn and Lambeer. We're gonna need that kind of grit. And Marc Gasol, whether he knows it or not, he's part of that grit.
He is.
What I mean? He needs to know that. You know what I mean? Like I think maybe management needs to just take him into the office and
just holler at him. Talk to your boy. Just talk to him.
You know,
just smooth that thing on out.
Yeah, I mean, because
we need him. We need him too.
Yeah,
because he can hit some damn threes.
He has to understand. If you look back on that championship that Kobe won when Shaq left, this was his fourth title.
Yep.
You can't even hardly name any of those guys on the squad. Go back and look at the picture.
That's exactly right.
Ariza went on to make a name for himself, but some of those, I can't tell you what Vujacic is.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Sasha Vujacic. Yep.
But boy, he was a hell of a player. Boy, did he help us win that chip.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that whole team was full of role players, dude.
It really was.
On that fourth chip, he was the only star. You're
going to have your time to shine. You know, if I had to talk to Mark and he knows this stuff way better than I do, man, don't worry about regular season, bro. When your number is called, you look at JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard when we matched up against Houston. Houston played small ball, and they was just basically getting JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard was getting ran around like damn Mighty Mouse by Houston. And so we had to sit them because it just didn't fit the scheme of that specific series. But we got back when we played, Miami and some other teams along the way. So, it's what it is. That's how Frank coaches. It's like, look, he got to give props to that guy. I think he's a great coach. I think he's an excellent coach. And I think he knows how to scheme up based off matchups, and sometimes you're either going to fit into that scheme of a matchup, especially if you're a role player or you're not, especially if you're a big.
Yeah,
that's just the way. That's not him being him. That's just the nature of the NBA where it is right now. There's not really any true fives anymore.
Yeah,
it's just not.
Yeah.
So we need him. We're going to need everybody. Everybody's going to have a chance to shine during the playoffs. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
when your number's called, pull up.
Please, man, please be ready because, like you said, going against a stacked team such as the Nets, I mean, not just the Nets. I mean, just getting past the Clippers. Let me not even look past
absolutely,
that.
Yeah.
I mean, getting past teams like Denver, and then
absolutely,
and then you got teams like Utah, and I don't. And honestly, man,
I don't Phoenix right now.
I was just getting ready to say, I don't think people want to fuck around with Phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
So.
Like,
the West ain't no joke, dog.
Man, it's tougher than it has ever been. So, man, My opinion though, them going to get, does this give them the edge to get the chip?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's tough. It's tough, man.
Man,
it's tough. I'm being optimistic here.
Man, I'm gonna be. I don't know. Just looking at that roster over there on the Nets now, man.
Yeah,
man.
Here's the only thing I got going against the Nets: experience. That's it.
I agree.
Would I put money on that? Fuck no, I would not. But that's the only thing. I keep going back to the Miami year, the first year that LeBron got there, because they should have won that year. And I will say this, whether it's a Lakers fan or whether it's anybody out there in the East, if you're going to catch Brooklyn, this is going to be the year to do it. Because if they run that team back next year,
woo,
dog, that forget about it.
Forget about it.
This is going to be the year. Just like that was the year to get Miami. You better get them this year. This is the year that Brooklyn is going to be had, if they're going to ever be had. It will be this year.
I agree.
It won't be next year, and it won't be the year after that. They're only going to get better.
They're only going to get better.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
It's extremely scary.
That's scary, man. That's scary, man. Durant got so many good years left. So does Harden.
I mean, he didn't even start last night. I think he had like 17 points. I mean, the dude basically came in cold.
And hit everything.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. I mean, mid-range. I mean, it's like this is the second time we done seen him came back like he never left.
Came back like he never left, bro.
KD is a fucking problem.
KD, man. Like
that's the guy who I fear more so than anybody else in the league.
He got that Kobe in him.
Yes, he does.
He got that Kobe.
Yes, he does.
It's a couple players that got some Kobe in them out there. Kyrie got some Kobe.
He does.
You know what I mean?
Say what you want about that guy. That guy ball his ass off.
He got that Kobe in him, man. Durant got that Kobe in him. Jason Tatum got that Kobe in him too.
Sure does.
That young boy got some Kobe in him. I'm telling you, boy. It's just it's a look, it's a talk, it's a way you carry yourself. It's a don't give a fuck mentality. Yep. It's everything wrapped into one.
It is.
It ain't no friendly bullshit with KD or Kyrie. You know, like, them boys there to kick your ass. You know what I mean? Them boys there to kick your ass, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? But before we get out of here, I want to give a quick shout out to Steven Jackson. I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Steven Jackson. Also, their whole podcast. The Up and Smoke.
Up and Smoke, okay. Yeah, that podcast dope.
Yeah, I got a chance to peep it out, man. It was really dope. I saw the episode with Chris Webber. Very enlightening.
I need to check that one out. Okay.
Please do. It's on YouTube. Check it out, man. I really enjoyed it. Very eye-opening. I just wanted to give a shout out to them and what they're doing. Him and Matt Barnes.
Yeah, man, they killing.
Man, y'all, man, listen, man. Y'all paving the way for us, brother.
Yep. You know salute the OGs, yo.
You know what I mean? Y'all paving the way for us, man. We trying to get there, man. Like y'all doing it, man. Bringing that raw uncut shit to the table. We loving it, man. I'm loving it, man.
Yeah, like, same here.
Like, please keep it going, man. Salute to y'all. For the people, still haven't been any Chad Wheeler updates. Probably just waiting on court proceedings at this point. Like we keep reminding y'all. We on top of it though. I haven't seen anybody else in the news mentioning it still.
Yeah. And there's a few players from the Seahawks actually that's kind of getting upset with the fact of how Deshaun Watson is basically getting drugged through the mud every day, but there's been nothing Chad Wheeler related at all, and they're noting the discrepancy of the coverage of Chad Wheeler versus Deshaun Watson. So
good.
Got a few NFL players stepping up on that, so good for them, and hopefully they make enough noise about it.
Good. Man, we appreciate all the listeners, man, tapping into the podcast. I appreciate all the calls, the texts, man. And whether you watch it on YouTube, watching the clips on Instagram, listen to the audio on SoundCloud, we appreciate everything.
Absolutely.
Man. Keep tapping into the Zone Sports Podcast. Y'all know we drop it on Saturdays. You know what I mean? Listen to it while you at work. You know what I mean? Hit us up on the SoundCloud on Skyzone.Society. Just type it in on SoundCloud. Pop right up the Zone Sports Podcast. If you're on YouTube, check it out. Just put in Skyzone.Society Network. It's on the network. You know what I mean? Yo, tap in with us, man. We work
it up.
You know what I mean? Yo, Corey, I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean?
Another one in the books, partner. Salute, homie.
You know what I mean? Soon, we're going to do that face-to-face pod. It's going to be great.
Word up.
COVID-free pod.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Oh, man. It's going to be
great.
It's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. I might have to bring some champagne that day. You know what I mean? For sure. You know what I mean? Bringing some champagne. Let us sip while we pod.
Word up.
I mean? Yo, for real, man. Yo, Corey, I'm going to hit you up. Be safe out there. You know what I mean? Salute
Same
to the
to you,
audience,
my brother.
Man. Peace, bro.
Peace out, big dog.